Hello, and welcome to Nuts and Bolts, the Job Search, informational sessions brought to you by the Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia Employment Resources Consortium, otherwise known as POWER. POWER consists of 11 law schools in our region dedicated to promoting best practices in law school career development and assisting in the career success of all of our students and alumni within their legal communities and within the profession as a whole. The Nuts and Bolts, the Job Search series is a collaborative effort to educate our students and alumni on some professionalism basics to supplement your legal studies and help you develop into a well-rounded lawyer. My name is Megan Mihawk, and I am the Assistant Dean for Career Services at Penn State Law in University Park. Today's session will cover the 10 best practices for internships. We are so glad you're here. Let's get started. First, you want to be enthusiastic to be in your position. Show your interest in the organization, in the work that you are doing, and participate in events. Low energy can rub people the wrong way and will leave them wondering why you are there. You also want to be humble, be confident, but don't be arrogant. You must take ownership of your work and every project you are given. Assume that the drafts you are asked to write are going to the client. Because of this, a draft is not a draft. A draft that you turn into somebody should really be as close to your final work product as possible. Even if it is a simple project, think about the big picture and how your portion of the project fits in, and let that inform how you approach it. You also want to keep track of what you're working on for two reasons. One, if you are required to enter your time, you need to stay on top of it. And two, you will need a detailed list of what you have worked on in order to craft an appropriate entry for your resume. Communication is key. The attorneys you are working for should not have to ask you for an update on a project they have given you. You should be keeping them informed. If you anticipate that you will miss a due date, you need to talk to them ahead of time and not wait for the due date to occur. If a new assignment conflicts with a current deadline, you have to seek advice from your superiors about how to handle it. It is not your job to determine which of your projects takes priority. You need to talk to the attorneys you are working for. You need to know your priorities, but the attorneys need to be the ones who set them. Always ask if there is a deadline. And if someone says there is no real deadline, give it to me by the end of the summer. Do not hand it in on the last day of your internship. You must leave time for rewrites, meetings, etc. Be proactive, not reactive. Don't sit around if you do not have work to do. You need to ask for it. It is far better to ask everyone in the office if they have something for you to do and be told no than for any attorney to see you not having something to work on. Be thoughtful about your questions. Be aware of people's time. If you are constantly pinging someone with questions, you will annoy them, they will get lost. Rather, it's better to aggregate your questions and ask as many as possible at once in order to simplify the process. You never know when an attorney will stop you in a hallway or the break room to ask you to do something for them. Always be prepared. Have a way to take notes with you, whether that is a small notepad and pen or your laptop. Be flexible and be curious. You need to be a team player. Pitch in where you're needed. You may need to do something other than what you want, and often that is how you discover something new. Remember, you haven't done this before. You may not know what you like or do not like until you try something. Being a team player will also get you to the projects you want to be on. Constructive feedback is an opportunity for growth, and you need to learn from it. So don't make the same mistake twice. Pay attention to the notes and edits that you get on your written work, and don't make the same mistakes. Firms and attorneys will train you how to do things how they want, and that may differ from what you have been taught, and it can even differ from attorney to attorney. Even if you disagree, there is probably a grain of something you can take away from the feedback you are given. If that is how you are being perceived, that is how it is, and you need to work to correct that. Talk to your mentors, talk to HR, talk to the recruiters, talk to a writing coach if you have one. These are all opportunities for growth. And don't forget that your library and professors are also there to help with your summer internships. It is still important to be friendly yet professional. Support staff can be your best friends and will make or break your ability to talk to attorneys and do well in a firm. Don't skip social events, but remember it's still a professional function. Do not overconsume. You are not out with your friends. Remember why you were there. You must be responsive to every type of communication. Emails must be responded to in a timely fashion. Even if you do not have time to start working on it, reply and tell them you received it, and we'll follow up with them. You must check your voicemail and respond to it. Always acknowledge when you receive something. Always be aware of your priorities. And one last tip, make sure you set up your email notifications on your phone. Thank you so much for showing your interest by viewing this video. For further help, please talk to your career office. That is what they are there for, and they will always be willing to help you with any questions you have, no matter how big or how small.